You ever seen dwarf hyenas fight? If you've never seen dwarf hyenas fight, it's hilarious. They're absolutely bananas. I don't know if you can hear the little ghost footsteps surrounding me, but don't pull that light down. Hey, don't pull that light down, you little jerk. Cats are really such curious oddities. They really are. Okay. So, Virginia Gouffre. I don't know how you pronounce her last name. I thought it was Guffrey. Well, first I thought she was Virginia Roberts. But then everyone was calling her Virginia Dufree or something. Oh, Jesus! Give me a second. Hey, you little jerk! What are you doing? Oh my! The good Lord be with you. The good Lord be with you, and also with you. What? Listen, that's. Oh my God! Look, come here. You come over here. You stay away from them. They're being bad. They're being bad. Okay? You're being good. Thank you for being a good example. I need you to lead the way. Okay? So Virginia Roberts, who passed away, I think in April. Very sad. No, I know. They're causing trouble, and I need you to be a good example for me. Okay? I need you to be the pack leader. Well, her memoir, her book has come out. I haven't read it. I've read excerpts. Watched an interview with her ghostwriter. We talked about the story of Prince Andrew. Can you believe that guy? Prince Andrew had one job in life. One job. His one job in life was to not live like a creep, so he could retain his titles of prince. The guy was born so wealthy that he literally had never had to have a job. He didn't have to do anything besides just not be a perv weirdo. And he could just live out his life going anywhere he wanted, doing anything he wanted, eating whatever he wanted, never have to worry about being cold, hot, hungry, all the necessities met. And this dude couldn't even live like that. We talked about, was it this week? I think it was this week. We talked about here on the live stream how Prince Andrew was stripped of all his titles, like officially, whatever. I think they talk about that all the time. But there's even a story how Prince Andrew, let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, did they update everything? Yeah, they updated everything. Is this it? Symbolic gesture. We're gonna go into these infographics. I'm not going to read all of them, by the way, because some of these have some heinous stuff in them. If you can read, God bless you. If you can't, God willing, learn to read. Really, you should. You should. If you can't read, it's unlocking a magic power. But I watched an interview with this lady, the ghostwriter for Virginia's book that's out. And she says, Andrew losing his royal titles was a symbolic gesture and a step in the right direction, but said there's still more he could do by helping U.S. investigators. Wait. Is it on this one? Oh, yeah, this one. Having denied all allegations. Right. Remember when he said this? These dudes, these pervos, and their lame excuses. Remember Donald Trump said, I never doodled? And then I'll show you his doodles. And here's what Prince Andrew said. Prince Andrew said,
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I did.
He doesn't sweat. These guys are so rich, they can't even understand. They have no perception of themselves and how lame their excuses are. So he gave up all his titles, but pressure remains on the royal family to go further. New records show Andrew lives rent-free in the royal mansion on Windsor Estate, paying an annual peppercorn rent each year. I don't know what a peppercorn rent is, but I'm assuming he pays a little peppercorn, puts it in the king's hat or something. Isn't that amazing? This grown-ass Nepo baby adult prince lost his title, which was probably very important to him. From everything I've heard, that people that were around him and work for him, his indentured servants or whatever they have, they were all like, he loved his title. You know, he wanted to be like, if you've ever seen Game of Thrones, where they're like, call me my lord. And they're like, we're all high and mighty on the fact that they were a knight or a lord or a Mr., you know, Dr. Pepper or whatever. He really enjoyed that. So it's kind of funny that he lost that title because he lived his life in such a way that he was a pervert. So his family had to be like, "Oh, it's an intervention, man. You're such a perv. We can't be called Prince anymore." Isn't that crazy? I just want you to think about that. Imagine being born into a situation where you never pay rent. You say, "Make me food," and food is made. You say, "Crumpets, please," and crumpets, please appears. And this fucking guy couldn't even live his life to not get his titles relinquished. It's so crazy to me. A long bong. Trump will let him stay in the new ballroom. Yeah, I heard the new ballroom is going to be 90,000 square feet, which is bigger than the White House itself. He's going to set up a little cot. It's going to be called Epstein's Manor. They're going to call it Epstein's Manor. And they're going to put up pictures of him and his best friends everywhere. You know, they'll deck the halls with balls of perverts. Hold on. But remember, so Prince Andrew, this loser, said, "I don't sweat," or "I didn't sweat during the accusations." And he thought that sounded totally normal, you know. He got off of that interview with the BBC and like high-fived someone. It was like, "I fucking killed it, man. I said I didn't sweat." Getting out of that one, you know. Meanwhile, the rest of us are like, "You're kidding, right?" Like, this guy thinks he can say, "I don't sweat," and we're supposed to believe. Maybe it's the inbreeding, the royal inbreeding. They're like, you know, they genetically inbred themselves so bad they relinquished their sweat glands somewhere in the 15th century. But same with Donald Trump, Epstein's other best friend. He said, "I don't doodle." And you can clearly see who's doodling. And this doesn't look like the doodles of of an adult woman. This looks like the doodlings of a doodles that a pervert would send, you know? By the way, I want to show you this. For those who are, I love this sign. For those who are still confused, Antifa, you see the World War II vets, and here's Fa. You know the guy we fought? You know the guy we fought? All you perverts, I'm gonna put you in timeout, okay? Because you support perverts, and we don't support perverts here. You understand me? You guys understand that you guys support Epstein and his pervert ring of pedo pans? So you can leave. You're more than welcome to. You can go to a channel where they talk about, you know, being predators towards young people. Go do that. You know, I'm sure Roblox will protect you. But you guys that support the guy who drew this poem for Epstein, Donald Trump, he made this poem for Epstein. Here, I'll play an excerpt of it for you. This is Joe Rogan reading Donald Trump's poem to Jeff Epstein.
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
You guys support perverts, and we're just not going to have it. So save your breath, save your little typing fingers. I'm surprised you can spell and write, and go somewhere else. Have a great day. Go somewhere else. Did you see the new 20 that they were going to release to commemorate the Trump presidency? I don't know when they're dropping that, but that's going to be the new 20. Raiden, again, I don't know why these people are so proud to be perverts and supporting perverts. But you guys should all go back. Charlie Kirk hasn't said anything racist in over a month. Good. Oh, by the way, no, Chris, we don't take kindly. You should go watch The Town. We don't take kindly to people who are predators towards kids. Go watch The Town, Chris. You better be careful, you know, supporting predators around Boston, because I know some people that whoop your ass. But speaking of, hold on. Where is my photo? Here it is. Speaking of Charlie Kirk, I linked this story down below. A judge rules in favor of Iowa teacher facing dismissal for Kirk-related posts. I think this was one of the big stories. A school wanted to fire this teacher because she said, I don't support anybody getting hurt with violence, but, he was, I forget what she said. Hold on, I have the story up so I can read her exact quote. Let me see. What did she say exactly? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, yeah, okay. So Crook, that's the teacher. She wrote of Kirk, he is a terrible human being. Terrible. I do not wish on anyone, but him not being here is a blessing. And again, Republicans who, remember, all of their accusations are just admissions. Because this judge said, this is obvious. This is clearly her free speech. She did it off duty. She didn't do it as a representative as the school. And here in America, you're allowed to say what the fuck you want. Your work can't say we're going to dictate what you do in your private life. We have the First Amendment. I know Republicans hate that. They absolutely despise that, and they want everybody to have to, consider their feelings. If somebody's saying Charlie Kirk was an absolute racist and a horrible human being, that makes them so upset. They're gonna light up the comments in a minute. Which is always ironic because these people always claim to be like the toughest people. They're not snowflakes. They don't melt when words are said. But then I say Charlie Kirk was he was the definition of racism and just a shitbag. Like the world is a better place without people like that. And they get so butthurt. And it's like, it's just words, folks. Shut the fuck up. But this judge found that, they can't. The judge put a temporary restraining order preventing the school from moving forward with the plans to fire a teacher. Another win for free speech, so it's good to see. Crushed Ice is here. Oh, Jesus. Guys, welcome to the live stream. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. I'm Antifa. I'm anti-fascist. And all of you that are siding with Donald Trump, who's clearly a fascist, in his own words, he said, anti-fascists are my enemy. Save your breath. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. I don't give a fuck that you're here. Get out of here. Seriously. There are better people in the world that I'd rather converse with. And I'm not saying me and those people have to see eye to eye or agree on everything, but you support a fascist pedo pan. So let me make that very clear early in this live stream, because I'm sick of it. You guys support Epstein's best friend. You support the dude who sent this to Jeff Epstein. The dude who has no accountability for anything. Just like a leadership position, When you hold a leadership position, here's some life advice. When the team wins, it's their win. And when the team loses, it's your loss as a leader. What could you have done better to prepare your team? Just some life advice. And Donald Trump lives the opposite of any kind of leadership. Anything that bad happens, it wasn't his fault. That's why he always blames Biden, or you hear them always say Kamala. Anything that good happens, it was him. That's why he wears a Trump hat that says Trump was right about everything. It's the most poisonous fucking mentality. And you know what kind of mentality is? It's that of a rich kid who never had to earn anything in his life, that his dad, Fred Trump, just gave him everything, even though he didn't give him a hug, because that clearly would have fucking cured some of his ailments. But worst of all, outside of like the little misgivings, the stuff that, you are redeemable, because there's redeemable qualities with everybody. Bad leadership, we can teach you how to be a good leader. But here's something that is unforgivable, and that's just Jesus speaking. Jesus said, if you're going to make little kids stumble and fall and lose faith or sin, you better to tie a millstone around your neck and be thrown into the ocean. And I'm sick of hearing people support this dude who clearly, I mean, we're going to get into the Epstein stuff. He's terrified of it, but let's go through some more meme news. Look at this. Tommy Loren. What the actual Tommy Loren? By the way, if you don't know who she is, she's a stupid grifter who, is platformed by probably billionaires, and says a bunch of stuff where she's just talking out of her butt. What the? We're buying Argentinian beef. Our American ranchers are getting crushed already by cheap foreign imports, and meat packers are already undercutting American product. This is an outrage. This is what you voted for, Tommy. When you support Donald Trump, it's not our fault that you're a moron and you believe a liar. Like, this dude is clearly a liar. Go back to 10 years ago. I'll release my taxes once the audit is done. That was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Okay? Remember when he said, I've never doodled in my life, and then Ghislaine Maxwell released this? It's not our fault that you're a moron, a racist, a bad person, and you believe Donald Trump because you were like, well, he's going to get brown people out of the country, and, by the looks of her, she could go along with that. And then she's like, oh, wait, he's shitting on American workers? Oh, my God. Tommy, let me give you a clue. Just look through his history. Talk to anybody that's subcontracted for him, that works for him, and that didn't get paid for him or had assumed to get paid. He's never cared about American workers. So it's just funny that people, take these people like seriously. Like, oh, this 23-year-old is a smart person I should listen to. Fucking seriously, when are we releasing this 20? I totally support this. Also, I seen this. We're not asking. We're shutting it down. Mass blackout 25th through December 2nd. I'm all for this. You know why? Because I don't spend money anyways. I never go to a restaurant, hardly ever. Events. What kind of event? The only person throwing events right now is Donald Trump destroying the White House so we could build a ballroom. That's pretty alpha, right? It's pretty alpha putting up a ballroom. I thought the only ballroom these guys like was on Epstein Island. You guys gonna all be in your Lord Farquaad gear, going to high toe dance or whatever you're doing? Go and watch the Nutcracker ballet. What are you guys gonna do with that? Is Joe Rogan and Dana, what's his name? Dana White gonna go to the ballroom and ballroom dance? I can't believe we're doing a ballroom. What a loser! And you guys think he's a man? Just put some cardboard down out front of the White House and let people break dance. What's her name? Ray Gun. Invite that Australian Ray Gun to break dance at the White House. So I wanted to show you this because I already participate. But if you're one of the few Americans that still has money, you can spend it. Oh, just wait. Actually, let me show you something. We're gonna get into this. If you can read, good on you. I know MAGA probably can't read, so I'm not gonna read it to you. Oh well. You made it this far in life. I want to play this for you. This Oregon retiree couple receives a new health insurance bill. Their costs quadrupled, okay? Listen to this couple. Solidarity to the husband. He's a union carpenter. And this is horrifying. Because here in America, if you want to call this land great, if you want to say America's the land of the free, stop trying to restrict who people can marry and who people can be when they are adults. Stop. That's not the land of the free. That's the land of Sharia law or whatever. That's the white Taliban. That's Al-Qaeda. And Jesus didn't say that either. We cover this all the time on my channel. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Jesus said, love God and love your neighbor unselfishly. That's it. So don't try to don't try to hide behind Jesus. Don't try to make your hatred something Jesus promoted. He didn't. I see through you. I read that fucking Bible every day. And I'm tired of you assholes giving Christ a bad name. Because he was radical, He was like, throw the first stone, for all you who haven't sinned. And all them people were going, blah, 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 dropping their stones. So I'm sick of you white Southern folk trying to pretend like Jesus hated everybody. Shut up. Read your Bible. Stop listening to Joel Osteen. Get educated. Learn how to read. But if you're going to call this country free and great, it should take care of the retirees. Retirees shouldn't have to worry about healthcare costs. Because if you don't know, when you get older, you need more healthcare. Most of the time, this is just kind of how life goes. When you get older, you need to be checking on your health a little more. We should ensure that. How come some of you motherfuckers in the chat are okay that Elon Musk has $500 billion and gets our taxpayer subsidies through the government and gets to steal all our data under the cover of Doge. You know, how come you're okay with that? That illegal immigrant, his brother Kimball said so in an interview. I played the clip. That illegal immigrant gets our taxpayer funded money for a fucking Mars mission? Nobody wants to live on Mars, you dummies. You can't even live on Mars. The radiation will kill you. Look it up. God, get educated, folks. When he starts saying occupies Mars, go, bro, why? Why? There's nothing on Mars. It's a dusty ass rock. America's awesome. We got fucking valleys, Pacific Northwest rainforest, swamps, Appalachias. We have friends in Canada, friends in Mexico. We got cool location here. But if America's gonna be great, we should be taking care of everybody who's retired. And you should be able to retire at 45. Really enjoy that retirement, okay? So here's this couple. This I got from Reddit.
I just retired in June from 25 years of teaching.
My name is Bartlett Armitage. I've been in Eugene, Oregon.
Sorry, the audio is bad on this. It's old folks. It's boomers. What are you going to do? They didn't turn the audio up. I'm trying to play it as high as I can. Speak closer to the mic, guys. The dude, the husband's holding the mic like way out here. It's like, come on, man. We're going to want to hear this. They're from Eugene, Oregon. They introduced themselves. Very boomerish. I love these old folks. These adorable old folks.
Most of 45 years, I was a union carpenter.
For 45 years, I was a union carpenter. God bless you. Solidarity. Injury to one is an injury to all.
For over 30 years, and I'm still a member of the Carpenters Union.
Our current premium is $443
She said our current premium is $443
a month.
a month through the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. It's also known as Obamacare. And before that, it was implemented in Massachusetts as Governor Romney Care. It was a Republican health care plan. It was the opposition to universal health care, a single payer system. So when you complain about Obamacare, just know that the Heritage Foundation, an alt-right fascist think tank, created Obamacare. And originally it was implemented in Massachusetts on a small scale. And instead of like the Bernard Sanders universal healthcare single payer system where our taxes pay for it, preferably billionaires' taxes, fuck those guys. Instead, we got what they dubbed Obamacare. He's the one that passed it through with all those Republicans that allowed him to do this. But what you don't know is that it's a Republican healthcare fucking plan. This is a Republican brain thought from the Heritage Foundation, a Republican think tank. So it's not good in the first place. It just helped if you were born with a pre-existing condition. No longer could insurance companies say, oh, you were born like that? You were born this way? I think this is what the Lady Gaga song's about. You were born this way? Denied. And you couldn't get health care because you were born this way, which is fucking crazy when you think about it. So they say through the Affordable Care Act, the Heritage Foundation's healthcare plan, they pay $443 a month.
Through the ACA, and which is manageable.
They say which is manageable. They're retirees. They should pay nothing. They paid their taxes their whole life. They were in their twilight years. Elon Musk has $500 billion. We tax him at 100%. He's a 999 millionaire. And this beautiful couple from Oregon, guess what? They pay nothing. Don't worry about your health. Just worry about living your life in the land of the free and the home of the brave. But now listen to what they're going to pay.
For us, both retirees.
As both retirees.
However, it's going up to $2,224.
Now they said with the Republican plan and the end of subsidies, their $443 or whatever it was is going up to $2,224 a month. I know, cat. My cat's upset about this. That's nuts. From $400 a month to $2,224 a month? How do you can't budget that. That's why it's so funny when people like, maybe just don't buy avocado toast. It's like, how much fucking avocado toast are you choking down in a month to afford an extra $2,000? I know the avocados are coming from Mexico, but I don't think the tariffs went that high. Thank you, Crushed Dice. All these little babies in the chat. Oh, hold on. Super chat. Oh, J666 snuck in 10 cents a day, and you can sponsor an American too. Thank you, J6666. I appreciate you as a loyal subscriber and a family member and a community member, and I encourage you to hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. You join me every single weekday where I go live. We joke about the news because the news is a fucking joke. And some of these people are taking it serious. Like, yeah, destroy the White House or build a ballroom. That will make our lives better. This is as close to let them eat cake as you can get. And I know some of you don't understand that, but, and Crushed Dice doing God's work. Holy shit, I was way back in the chat. I'm very sorry. New to you, getting intrigued. Oh, Carolyn Went. Are you related to George Went? Did he? I think he just passed away, didn't he? You know George Went? Norm from Cheers. And he did some great work with Pixar. Sorry, I recognize the last name. And if you're related, my condolences. He was a great actor. 404. The trolls are... So Mel's in the building. Mel's in the building. Good to see you, Mel. I haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully you're well. He did, and possibly. He did. I thought so. It's so crazy now when like a celebrity dies or something. The news is so hectic all the time because, you know, the president is Pedo Pan and he's best friends with Epstein and he won't release the files and everything he does is trying to distract from the Epstein files. You too. This, not U2 the band. I don't have Bono here. Sorry. I have to Oh my geez, this is insane. Americans are gonna suffer badly. 1450, if every American got equal share of Elon's wealth. What are you funding with that? What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about? If we taxed Elon at 100% everything over $1 billion, do you understand how much we could fund? Do you understand, like, to fucking solve homelessness for the next 5 years, it would take $20 billion? Like, this dude could be Bruce Wayne in his part fucking time. You understand that? Part time. This dude could be like homeless vets? Nah, not gonna happen while I'm alive. And what is he doing? He's buying Twitter so he could turn it into a Nazi platform? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Go bootlick somewhere else. Go to Ben Shapino's or I'm sure, what's his face? Polio Rogan. Polio Rogan loves Elon, has him in, they smoke a joint together and they pretend to take alpha pills so they could sell it to you. Bro, just shut the fuck up. You know, I'm done with these people who bootlick the oppressors that would starve your family and buy your house out from under you if you even own it. But go to Polio Rogan's fucking site. And these fucking morons, dude, get out of here. I'm tired of it. You understand fascists, Mussolinis, the Hitlers. That's what Trump is saying. If you're anti-fascist, you're against me. I can't handhold you through everything. I understand that's why you love Polio Rogan, because he pretends like you're smart. And if you just eat these alpha pills, there's just like shiitake mushrooms chopped up, I'm guessing. You know, and he sells it to you for a premium so he can fucking go into the sauna 4 times a day and then you can watch him ice bath or ice shower. What was that viral challenge that he turned into a bath? It's so funny to me. These manly alpha men watch Joe Rogan ice bath on Instagram. Like, go do that. Get out of here. Because the community here that has hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, we're pushing for a better tomorrow. And it includes you, even though you're going to fight tooth and nail against it. That's the funniest part. Did you see this new statue, by the way? Did you see this video? The MAGA guy, who reminds me of some of these people in the chat. MAGA guy was saying, like, Trump is king, you know, walking down the street. And other people were like, shut up. And he got so offended because that's like the one thing all these MAGAs have in common. And I'll tell you the irony of this statue after. But the one thing all these MAGAs have in common is they're all fragile little ego boys, right? If you say anything that offends them, they get very mad and they have to attack you. They have to go right after you and say, oh, Nazis calling Nazis Nazis. It's like, you fucking moron, dude. Literally, the young Republicans chat was like saying they love Nazi. You know what I mean? Like they literally were saying that they were that. You know, like it doesn't get more literal. So the people that are either trolls or bots, just shut up. Crush Dice, mute them all. Mute all these motherfucking fascists. But this dude, you know, he's got a lot in common with the people that oh buddy, you're just being so calm. Thank you. You calm down. You're a good boy. Sorry. I'm going for the new Tiger King. It's a show called Tiger Kitten. No, you hate Tiger King, don't you? You can go play. But this dude walking down the street, you know, trying to troll everybody who was at the No Kings. And his feelings got hurt. If you know anything about MAGA, they're the snowiest snowflakes of them all. So he chased after these people and tripped like 3 fucking times and ended up like this. Somebody made it a statue, which, my God, put this on the 20. But the funny part about this is not only a statue that represents most of MAGA. They will bend over and take it when Donald Trump is like, I've never doodled in my life. And they're like, the man isn't a doodler. What do you expect? He was known in preschool as never doodling. You know, they'll just like take anything and run with it for my lord Donald Trump. But the funny thing is not only is MAGA, this represents most of MAGA, but it also represents Donald Trump and how Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein have him right now. This is exactly what he looks like. You know, when he wished Ghislaine well and then sent her to a prison with no fences. It was called a camp. What's up, buddy? You want to stay here? You can stay here. You can stay here all you want. You can stay here, buddy. But this is funny as shit. So anyways, that's the Oregon couple. And it's good when people, if you find this on Reddit, it's on the subreddit TikTok cringe. This is good that people share this. You know, it's just like sharing your wages. There's a federal law, unless Trump tries to repeal it, protects you and your coworkers from sharing how much money you make. Because it's empowering for you, like knowing is half the battle. Anybody watch G.I. Joe? It's empowering to know. If you come into a job and you're newly hired and you're making as much as somebody who's been there for 10 years, guess what? You're looking at 10 years into the future of getting raises. So it's empowering. And same with when people share this kind of stuff, that they were paying $443 with the ACA, the Obamacare, which originally Obamacare was Romney Care, and it was a Heritage Foundation, right-wing think tank creation. So we didn't get universal health care. But them sharing that with Trump cutting out the subsidies, their bill now goes from $400 a month to $2,200 a month. And that's empowering for people to understand. This is the real life effects of what happens when these Republican fascists take control, give their wealthy their wealthy friends tax breaks, the billionaires and millionaires tax breaks, and they cut out the hardworking Americans, the retirees, the people who deserve health care more than billionaires. So they don't care for you. But can you blame Trump? I linked a couple videos down below. This one, Democracy Now!, this video with Amy Brown. I forget her name. She is the ghostwriter for Virginia Giuffre. And then I linked this video too, The Daily Beast. Why unrelenting Epstein leaks terrify Donald Trump. Great watch, both of them, down in the description. Oh, did you see this? the dude, the commenter, who hopefully he's been muted for a day. This is what I'm talking about. MAGA, stop calling us Nazis. Also MAGA, I'm a Nazi. I do have a Nazi streak in me from time to time. I will admit it. This is again from the Republicans' leaked chats on Telegram. So just remember, when you hear these bold morons yelling this stuff, don't be intimidated, don't be frightened. Call them out, show them the proof, and then silence the fuck out of them, you know? Because I'm just done dealing with it. we talked about this. If you're a subscriber and you hit the notification bell, I think it was last week, we talked about the young Republicans in New York State, their leaked Telegram chats where they were talking about gas chambers, all like heinous stuff. Heinous stuff. And this is the Republican Party, the youth of the Republican Party, you know? Meanwhile, some of our grandfathers fought against these motherfuckers. And then you got people in the comments like, how dare you call us that? It's like, no, you guys are calling yourselves that, you fucking morons. Again, I'll show you this because this guy had a great sign. For those idiots, this is why we really need to invest in education in America. Too many idiots walking around confidently. You know, I see them all the time. In the chat, these confident idiots just barking and chirping and barking. They think this is the Joe Rogan program. They think this is Polio Rogan program hour where, you know, we have CIA telling us, I think the government's really doing a good job. You know, Joe Rogan has the CIA on and Peter Thiel and all his friends. And they're like, no, I'm pretty sure this is like the best government we've ever had. Don't trust me, I'm in the CIA. I would tell you. And all these idiots are like, yeah, man, I gotta buy some more of them alpha pills. Fucking idiots. But for all who is still confused, Antifa are World War II veterans. Okay? My grandfather, maybe yours. And here's FA, the people we fought World War II. And don't forget, Donald Trump is all over the Epstein files, folks. I know he said he didn't doodle. But it looks like he did doodle. A little doodle do, huh? A little dabble do you. The new 20? Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. What a metaphor, huh? What a metaphor. All right. Now, for those who can't read, MAGA, apologies. I'm going to just show some of these on screen because they are disturbing, to say the least, unnerving. And it's also a horrific moment in time where a person who campaigned on releasing the Epstein files, even though he knew he was all over them. Hold on, June King, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Much appreciated. Humbled for that. I appreciate everybody's support. It means the world to me. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. We're close. I've been doing this for a long time. Long time. I feel like one of the crows on the wall on my long watch, waiting for the White Walkers. Anybody else watch Game of Thrones? They should have had a choose your own adventure at the end, so the ending could have been like different endings, you know. Anyways, we'll talk about that at a different time. But thank you so much, June King, for the super chat, because I'm supported by you. I'm not trying to sell you a plot of land in Scotland, a 1 by 1 foot plot of land in Scotland, so you could hang a printed piece of paper, 5-cent piece of paper on your wall, calling yourself a lord or lady. Remember when YouTubers were doing that? I ain't doing that. I'm supported by you, so I appreciate you. But this is a very sad time in our country that, not even half, 17% of identified Republicans who still are hardcore MAGAs, because Donald Trump is extremely unpopular. The majority of Americans do not like him. But there's a sect, and again, you'll hear them because they're confidently stupid. They are loud and proud when it comes to being confidently stupid. They will chirp, you know, because they don't understand, ignorance is bliss. They don't understand how dumb they look. And if we could just get more people on board and force these Epstein files. I mean, look at the Republican Congress is keeping it closed down and not electing an elected official. I think they're getting sued. Mike Johnson's being sued because they're not allowing this elected representative who would be the tie-breaking vote to release unreleased Epstein stuff in to Congress. They're doing everything to support their pedo pan king. And you would just think, especially for a crowd who wanted to protect the children, the Pizzagate crowd, all these QAnon conspiracy theory people, it shows what vapid, just morally bankrupt people that they were using those things as shields to just be hate mongers. and it meant nothing to them. You know, it was only good to them if it was Democrats they could focus on. If it was their team, they would clearly support Trump over survivors, over, you know, the abused, over anything. They will support the predators every single day of the week. And, you know, it's a very, very sad time in history. I think about when the civil rights were happening, right? And you can look up these pictures online. When Ruby Bridges is walking to school to get an equal education, there are middle-aged white women behind this little black girl screaming at her. And I still wonder today, when I look at those photos, when I show my kids those photos, I said, where do you think that lady is now? You think she's proud of that? Maybe she is. Maybe she's a different breed, you know? And she hangs that up, and she you know, prides herself on her hatred, you know? Maybe she's them people that say the South will rise again, which fuck those people. Burn and piss on your Confederate flags. June King, thank you for the 99 super chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I hope you have hit subscribe and the notification bell. Because remember, the Confederacy was a foreign traitor to America. They seceded and went to war with America. People forget that. But I think about right now what's happening with the political police kidnapping people, no due process. 170 Americans, I believe, have been disappeared. I think about how everything's being recorded, and in 10 years, what, you know, those people that were trolling Trump. Here, hold on, let me show you before we get to these things. Let me show you what they look like. These motherfuckers, you know, when we look back and see these videos of this dude supporting what, you know, when Donald Trump isn't going to live forever, and those Epstein files are coming out, and you guys are going to be embarrassed that you supported him. You're going to be embarrassed for what comes out. Those Polaroid pictures, all that shit. And this dude, you know, he got a statue of him. We should put a statue of Epstein right here, if you know what I mean. Epstein and Trump, high five at Eiffel Tower in this bitch. Because we're going to look back in history, and there will be people on the wrong side, just like during the civil rights. Just like during the civil rights. Those middle-aged white women, those middle-aged white dudes, and the young teen white dudes that were screaming at little black kids that just wanted equal education. You know, shame upon your family for generations for being in those photos. And may you spend the rest of your life trying to make good on those moments. And this is happening again. And people are so fucking ignorant to the past. These fucking idiots, man. There's so many confidently dumb people out here. Trump and Epstein, best friends forever. One-eyed dollar. The one-eyed dollar. Okay, so let's go into this. For those who could read, I'm gonna let you read it. I'll read this. The other girls appeared to be under the age of 18 and didn't speak English. Epstein liked how they couldn't speak English and they couldn't communicate, saying they're the easiest girls to get along with. I highly encourage everybody to read Virginia Giuffre's book. I'll just leave this up. Sorry, MAGA, I know you can't read, but I encourage you, try to learn how to read. It's important for you. Reading is fundamental. This one is, you know, it's hard. It's hard to, as a parent, as somebody who, you know, cares about their neighbors, it's hard to read. And the most powerful people, not only was Donald Trump best friends with this dude and supported this motherfucker, and Virginia Giuffre, this girl, was stolen from his massage parlor, whatever it was, to go work for this dude, but Prince Andrew. In fact, Prince Andrew just had to live his life one way only. Not such a pervert and flocking with birds of a feather that all his royal titles were removed, and he couldn't live that way. And that's why this week, the royal family and him relinquished all his royal titles. Prince Andrew needs to be held to account. He denies everything except when she sued him. He settled that suit for a lot of money. Look, Virginia says, after casting doubt on my credibility for so long, Prince Andrew's team had even gone so far as to hire internet trolls to hassle me. So just so you know, in the comments, that's this is a real thing. These people have billions of dollars. They will hire anyone that tells you you should be making $66 an hour minimum wage. You should have universal health care. You should have paid parental leave. You should have free higher education, all paid for by billionaires' taxes. They will send their mighty little army of paid trolls. And remember, when they say, oh, George Soros funded this, what is everything Republicans do? Every accusation is an admission. Remember that. Don't let their Black Mirror reality fucking trick you. We're standing strong here. You can read that. There's the picture. You know, this fucking creep. And the funny thing is even though he relinquished his title as Duke of Douchebag, Douche of York, he's still living at his mom and dad's place. He's still living rent-free at his parents' house. And this is who MAGA supports. MAGA supports Donald Trump and this dude. Living rent-free. Donald Trump living rent-free. I'm paying Donald Trump's goddamn rent. And I linked 2 videos. One with an interview with her at Democracy Now! And the other one is the Daily Beast, Michael Wolff, who wrote 2 biographies, interviewed Jeff Epstein for like 10 hours. You know, he's the one where we heard about the Polaroids with girls of an uncertain age, not adults, with Donald Trump topless. Michael Wolff has really been a key figure in explaining and breaking down a lot of this stuff. So I linked 2 of those YouTube videos down below for you to read. But I would encourage you, this is the other thing I want to bring up. I would encourage you to watch those videos and just find out, you know, because when Donald Trump starts doing something crazy, when he's like, oh, we're going to fucking put up a ballroom, you know, because everybody's, 2025, everybody's into ballroom dancing right now. You know, this is like the biggest thing. You can't, I mean, Theo Vaughn, Polio Rogan, Andrew Schultz, they're all like ballroom dancing guys. That's where it's at, you know? So when you see this shit, just know it's a distraction because he was best friends with Epstein and doesn't want that to come out. But he can't live forever, and it's going to come out. So know your role. Act accordingly. Let's see. This is the other thing. Trump administration reportedly cut Social Security for people with disabilities, adults that help their income with Social Security disability. Again, it's the most vulnerable in our society that he's going after. And I will always and forever speak up for them. Why? Because my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ says, love my neighbor unselfishly. And my neighbor isn't fucking Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. My neighbor is people that get Social Security, that are on disability. To all my parents with children with disabilities, my heart is with you, and I'll forever speak up. And until we're all brave enough to fucking fight against fascism, I'll keep doing it. I'll lead the way. I don't give a shit. None of you fascists scare me. You didn't scare my grandfather. You don't fucking scare me. We the people. That's in the Declaration. That's in the fucking Constitution. We the people. He's an absolute shitbag. So get ready. Because not only did we hear, oh God, sorry. I think I got like a sinus infection. Not only did we hear from the retiree couple in Portland that I played the audio for, where they said their insurance premiums went from $443 a month to $2,224 a month. But he's also going after, you know. Hey, what's up, President Ray? Good. Talk your shit, Rob. Mel, love you. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Ray Gun, how you doing? How you doing? Well, here's the thing, guys. The Dems aren't going to save us. Okay? If you vote all blue, we're not getting universal health care. We need a people-led, fucking ranked choice voting, a workers' party. Something, again, I always go back to this quote. When institutions fail, you don't reform them, you replace them. When America was founded, they didn't go, oh, we're just going to do what we've always done. We're going to put a king in again. No, they had to come up with some new shit, guys. Remember that. A lot of you are lacking creativity. I'm asking you to think outside of the box. I'm giving you extra assignments. You got to use that thing between your ears. That fucking brain that God gave you. And you got to think creatively. You can't just try to be obedient in advance. And I'm pushing for it. Oh my God. The American dream is not hard work. Stop. When people start telling you to have a dream job, tell them to shut the fuck up. Say, just dream. Hard work doesn't pay off anymore, folks. I hate to break it to you. You can't work one fucking job and buy a home anywhere in this fucking country, okay? And then I'm talking about like minimum wage was for not a bare subsistence level, but for the wages of a decent living. And you've been tricked to think working 2-3 jobs and paying off these massive shark fucking loans is supposed to be something. But that's not true. And I'm telling you because I grew up in a time where you could still have one job and buy a house, and then slowly that eroded and it went from the average home buyer was 21 years of age to I think most recently it's 38 years of age. Why do you think that is? The only thing that's changed is not immigrants, not fucking hard work. Americans are working harder than ever. And these young kids are sometimes working 2-3 jobs just so they could fucking share roommates to fucking buy one egg. I'm telling you, the one thing that's changed is the fucking oligarchy. They're not taxed anymore. They are taxed so little compared to what nurses and working people are taxed. And the other thing is they've consolidated wealth so much, they're buying up all the assets, just like the corporations. You could read about how they're using algorithms to price fix and all this shit. That's what's changed, okay? Jesus didn't want the maggots squirming in heaven, that's why he didn't go through with the rapture. Oh, man. But, all right, God, Dorothy, thank you. Hopefully everybody hit subscribe. I want to hit 10,000 people before the year 2040. So I'm giving us a cushion. I'm giving us a good cushion. The year 2040, it's still a ways away, but I want to hit 10,000 subscribers. And I need you to do it. Not the trolls. The trolls, go to Ben Shapinos or Polio Rogans. Back in the 80s, you could buy a house on minimum wage. Minimum wage hasn't gone up in 20 years. It's no longer a minimum wage. That's right, Sarah G. And when FDR implemented the minimum wage in the 1930s, that's what he said. I get my quote from that. I stated it at the Massachusetts State House testifying against fucking corporate lobbyists saying, oh, if you tax us, if you do this, oh, fucking all the fear-mongering shit that doesn't work. We're ready to try something new. And FDR said the minimum wage was not meant to be a bare subsistence level. He said if your business has to pay people poverty wages in America, your business should not fucking exist. And he said it should be the wages of a decent living, education, healthcare, and recreation. So when these Republicans try to sell you this shit, like maybe don't buy a new iPhone, how about if billionaires can't afford to live off $999 million because we're going to tax them into extinction? Nobody gets to be a billionaire anymore. If they can't live off $999 million, maybe they're buying too many fucking yachts and renting Venice too much for second weddings. By the way, whenever I talk about Jeff Bezos' weddings, we always have to do a toast. I've been the best man at a few weddings, and here's my toast to Jeff Bezos. Here's to his second messy divorce, you fucking twat. Jeff Bezos already made, what's her name, Mackenzie Scott, one of the wealthiest billionaire women in the world. All he did was divorce her. When will the rich be satisfied? When we tell them so. Remember, we're the 99%, folks. I think some people just hear that as like a title, but no, they're 1%. They don't fucking outnumber us. As soon as we get together and go, nah, done with it. Done with this shit. Done. I'd like to go to a funeral, be able to afford to fly to a funeral without having to fucking worry about taking off work and my hours for healthcare or fucking not being able to afford it because I don't have paid time off guaranteed like every other fucking country in the world. Jesus Christ, people. You've been normalized to fucking be simps and obedient to a billionaire class that is mostly Nepo babies and entitled fucking fascists. And I say, enough. Shut up, Mike. Mike, we know exactly who you would have been when the founding fathers and my cousin John Brown were trying to push for better. You would have said, shut up, man. The king's cool. Just let him put the Stamp Tax Act in place. We're just going to pay a little more for the tea. Why don't you just shut up? We got things good in the colonies. I like having a king. Shut your fucking face, Mike. Shut up and get out of here and don't come back. I'm sick of you people. You people, all you naysayers throughout history. You were the ones against civil rights, against women's suffrage, against the weekend when workers and unions were dying to fight for our rights for the weekend. You were against when the founding fathers said no more fucking tyranny, no more taxation without representation. You fucking simps, you obedient and advanced people. I'm sick of it. Go sit in the corner and just be obedient like your fucking king wants you to. Not you, Michael O. Oh, don't make me cough. My chest hurts. My chest hurts. Mike thinks he's, hold on, one-eyed dollar. I really like you. Mike thinks he's getting an invite to the ballroom. Oh, man. You know what would be the funniest I was thinking about today? Because he is 80 years old, okay? Let's face it. This guy is older than fucking dinosaur shit. How funny would it be if, like, he, you know, had a stroke and passed away in the middle of it, so they just left it like this? Because nobody else wants a ballroom. You think J.D. Vance fucking ballroom dances? Give me a break. You think Stephen Miller ever went to a dance? You know, fascist Pauly Shore, Stephen Miller, a guy who sounds like Pauly Shore. If Pauly Shore was a Nazi. Hold on, I'll play a clip for you. Hold on, because I love this uptalker. He's a Southern California, Santa Monica uptalker, a beach bimbo, Nazi.
But Democrat leaders.
You think Stephen Miller fucking ever went to any high school dance, middle school dance, college dance? Nah, man. He stood outside like, oh man, one day I'm gonna have my revenge. I think it'd be so funny if he passed away and we just left it like this. They just kept that thing parked there because nobody got paid. And they were like, we're not moving it. We're not moving it till we get paid. And they were like, well, man, he's not gonna pay you, man. They were like, get it out of here. They were like, we're just leaving it. Oh. Oh my God, I'm so sick of these people saying a fascist is saving America. Just shut up and go be obedient somewhere in the corner, okay? Oh, Juan, I get it. You're one of them savvy fucking grind culture hustlers. It shouldn't be the way of America, okay? I get it. You love Logan Paul and fucking, you know, zoo memes or whatever his crypto egg is. But we're talking about like just, you know, normal shit. Not fucking everything a hustle. I'm sure you got a lot of friends. Juan, did you go to college 100 years ago? Oh, shit. Trump has the best friends money can buy. That ain't even true because people are snitching on him in quiet. MAGA sits in the corner and wait for direction. It's 100% true, Neon Monkey. They're obedient in advance. They can't go and have their own opinion. That's why you see them all wait for him to say something, and then they turn and just repeat it. He's like the big mama bird regurgitating into their little baby bird mouth. That's all it is. Trump can't even dance. Oh, he can. It's called the jagging off a giraffe. He does this. I wouldn't say it's like a real dance, but he moves his body, you know? And the funniest part is like, these fucking Oklahoma women love it. They love it. They love it. They're a weak species. That's why they're outraged all the time. It's true. When I say, like, I want poor people to not die from lack of access to healthcare, they freak the fuck out. They're like, just work hard, you entitled shit. And it's like, really? Really? Okay. Okay. Subscribe, share, like, and smash that notification bell. Thank you. And good to see you, Michael, Neon Monkey, JS, Crush, everybody, Dorothy. All right, guys, I gotta go get some rest. I'm not feeling good. I'll be back tomorrow. So if you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. By the way, June King, thank you so much for the super chats. J666, thank you so much for the super chats. Be kind to one another. Love your neighbor. But remember, that don't apply. Remember when Jesus got pissed? Who did he get pissed at? The people who turned his father house into a den of thieves when they turned it into a capitalist market. So you need to understand that. Jesus had no tolerance for the hypocrites, the religious leaders and the authority at the time. He was there to uproot the establishment, the people that were abusing their power. He called them whitewashed coffins or whitewashed, yeah, it was whitewashed coffins. He said they're like a cup that's beautiful on the outside and rancid in the middle. So remember, there's wisdom to what Jesus said, and he wasn't peaceful to everybody. Who he was peaceful and loved were the outcasts, the marginalized, the sick. He never checked their insurance and charged a copay. The adulterers, which ironically Trump is one of them, you know, but Trump does it with no remorse. And what did Jesus say to the woman? He said, "Go, continue and sin no more." But he was loving to the people who society had rejected, and he stood strong and tall in the face of those who were trying to oppress the poor and the marginalized and the victimized. So remember that. Remember that. Okay, guys. The Pharisees. Yeah, that's what I'm sorry. My brain is cooked right now. I'll leave you with this. A little poem that one pervert wrote to another pervert, read by a grifter.
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
Oh, he doesn't doodle, just like Prince Andrew doesn't sweat. All right, guys. Much love, much respect. Please hit subscribe. I want to hit 10,000 subscribers before the year 2040. I think we could do it, but I can't do it without your help, okay? 2040, that's the cutoff. I'm saying that's it. If we haven't hit 10,000 subscribers by the year 2040, in the year of our Lord 2040, then that's it. That's it. Enigmas. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.